And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the crowning of the Queen. Congratulations, Miss Virginia Layfield.
Before Russell Wilson would lead the Seahawks to a Super Bowl victory and would sign a 4-year, $140 million contract extension with the Seahawks, making him the highest paid player in the NFL.
You know, first of all, God is so good, man. He brought me here a mighty long way, and so, you know, the other thing is my teammates are just incredible.
Before Russell would marry Ciara and get a couple of disses from her ex-Future.
Future bailed on a pre-Grammy party. Might be because Ciara and Russell Wilson were front row.
Before Russell would found a multi-million-dollar app that would get bought out by Nike. Like he really needs the money though, you know what I mean? Before he would have more than 3.9 million followers on Instagram and another 5.4 million followers on Twitter at the time of this recording. Researching this video, I kind of felt like Russell Wilson, he's the type of dude you love to hate. I mean, he's got more bucks in the bank than anyone can imagine, and he's got a supermodel for a wife. Also, there are those rumors about Ciara, but I'm sure that's just tabloid gossip. You know what I mean? For sure. Now, Russell Wilson, he said it himself, some people are born athletically gifted, but it all depends on what you do with it. Now, during his formative years, he could have gone into any sport he desired. He was the high school quarterback, he was a baseball player, and he spent some time on the basketball court. I guess it was, well, he was good at the other two. He went pro. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden back at it with another episode of Before They Were Famous, and we've dropped a lot of NFL videos over the last couple of weeks, including Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Drew Brees. Now, you guys requested this video, but you gotta let me know who's next in the comments down below. And, all right, let's get into this video. Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Russell Carrington Wilson was born on November 29, 1988 at Christ Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio, to father Harrison Benjamin Wilson III and mother Tammy Wilson. Now, Russell's family, they have a storied history. His great-great-grandfather was a slave to a Confederate colonel, and he was freed after the American Civil War. His paternal grandpa was the president at Norfolk State University, while his paternal grandmother was on the faculty at Jackson State University, and his maternal grandmother was a noted painter. His father was a lawyer for Procter & Gamble and a former two-sport college athlete. Now, Harrison, he played football and baseball at Dartmouth before attending Virginia Law School. At Dartmouth, he was the top receiver on a team that included 3 future NFL players. Now, after law school, Harrison, he wanted to pursue his NFL dreams. He would work out on the school lawn with trash bags wrapped under 2 sweatshirts and would have his friends throw bricks to him to soften his hands. Like actual bricks. Yeah, that's dedication. Back in the day, man.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
Harrison got a tryout himself with the San Diego Chargers after law school, and he made it to the last round of cuts. But he was able to catch a touchdown pass in a preseason game against the 49ers. Now, Harrison, he kept the ball, and he wrote his name and the date on it. Now, ironically, his 2 sons, well, they would use that ball to practice with their father later on. I guess they didn't really care because, you know, it was a preseason game. Now, his mother, she was a nursing consultant, and Russell, he has an older brother, Harrison IV, who is one of the closest people to him in his life and one of his biggest supporters. Around the age of 4, Russell, he would throw footballs to his older brother, who wanted to be a receiver. Now, when Russell was just over a year old, his father relocated the family permanently to Richmond, Virginia, but Russell still claims Cincinnati as his birthplace, and he has strong ties. Now, Russell, he really developed his skills by practicing on the lawn of the collegiate school in Richmond with his dad and his brother.
I remember my dad used to pitch to me when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I'd hit the ball over the fence. And my grandfather used to always tell me, "Oh man, you're gonna be a great ball player one day, son."
Later on, the family would add a daughter named Anna, who played basketball at Stanford University, and she's gone on to become a star athlete in the making herself. Growing up, Harrison IV said their only goal was to get sports scholarships and pay back their parents for sending them to such a great school, K-12. Now, he stated, "There really was no other option. It wasn't like maybe I'll do something different or maybe I won't try to play 2 sports. That was just what we were going to do." Wilson attended collegiate school, which was a prep school in Richmond, and as a junior he threw for over 3,000 yards and had 40 passing touchdowns along with 600 rushing yards and an additional 15 rushing touchdowns. Now in his senior year of high school, Wilson threw for over 3,000 yards and rushed for more than 1,000. Now he's named All-Conference and All-State Player of the Year, and he was featured in Sports Illustrated for his state championship winning performance. Not only that, but Mr. Wilson was also his high school president. High school president. I wasn't, you can tell. Now, although he was recruited by most ACC schools, many people were worried about his 5'11" frame. Virginia, they even wanted Russell to move positions to a defensive back, to which his high school coach was absolutely disgusted. But know who wasn't disgusted? The ladies, because he was a stud even back then. Now, Wilson ended up redshirting freshman at North Carolina State, where he was one of 4 quarterbacks who were competing for a starting job in 2008. Russell worked hard in the weight room and on the practice field, and he beat out all the other quarterbacks to win the starting job. Not only did he start, but he led the conference with 31 touchdown passes, and he became the first freshman to be named a first-team All-ACC quarterback. But sadly, it was around this time that his father, he suffered a stroke. Now, Russell's father, he suffered from diabetes, and he struggled with health for much of his life. Now, his father was no longer able to attend games, but his uncle Ben, he would go and then detail to his dad what happened play for play. Now, he was unable to attend Russell's first game against South Carolina, but his father was able to see him play in a victory against Wake Forest. Now, Russell, he graduated in 3.5 years with a degree in communications, which allowed him to transfer to another school and play without a delay. But Russell was a 2-sport athlete like his father, and he was playing baseball all throughout this time. Just one day after Russell was drafted in the 4th round of the 2010 MLB draft by the Colorado Rockies, well, his father, he sadly passed away. Now, the quote Russell remembers most from his father is, "There's a king in every crowd." That was written on a slip of paper that his dad had passed him in a car one day on the way to Russell's grandparents' house. He also mentions that his father instilled into him to play every game with the same level of importance because, well, you never know who's watching, whether it's a scout or a coach, or a kid in the stand who wants to be just like you. Now, Russell's brother, he recalled that he would live out that advice during every game. In fact, he said he watched Russell go harder than anyone he'd ever seen before in warm-ups for a game. "I'd never seen somebody work so hard in warm-ups. I played baseball and I took a lot of pride in my fielding ability. I was an outfielder. I couldn't believe how hard he was going." Russell transferred to Wisconsin for his last year of college football. Now, before each game at Wisconsin, Russell got into the habit of writing 3 things on tape that he would put on his wrist. Now, the first would be a football message for his upcoming game. For example, play each play. The second is one of his favorite scripture passages. And the third is simply the word dad. Now, he also had things in perspective. When he was asked about the pressure he felt before stepping onto the field for his first game, he stated, "This isn't pressure, this is great. This is fun. This is a blessing in my life. What my mom had to go through in terms of taking care of my dad and always being there for him, having to help him out while taking care of my sister, that's tough. That's pressure." In a 2014 interview, Russell Wilson, well, he said this, "It's imperative. The quarterback has to be the leader of the team. He has to make smart decisions, and when the game is on the line with 2 minutes left, the quarterback has to make a lot of big-time plays. That's what I want to bring to the table."
The Seattle Seahawks select Russell Wilson, quarterback, Wisconsin.
In the 2012 draft, Russell Wilson, he was selected 75th overall in the 3rd round. But he would go on to beat out Matt Flynn for the starting job at training camp, and he would become a Super Bowl champ like the next year. And he's the youngest quarterback to ever do so. So there's another reason why he's just such a cocky prick. I'm kidding! Oh God. Yeah, at least I left that to the end, so you guys all didn't all unsubscribe at once. I'm just kidding. My name's Michael McCrudden. If you guys want us to do more football-related content here on this channel, you gotta let us know in the comments down below. I'll be reading through all your comments, so let us know. See you guys in another video.